Hello everyone, this is Veer from Ignite and this is our What the Tech vlog where we experiment with apps and services and other tech so that you can learn from our experiences. So last week I talked about Teamviewer Quick Support, which is a really cool app that lets you see someone else's screen on their mobile device. But actually something that can be even more useful sometimes for most people who don't necessarily work in technology is something called Teamviewer Pilot. Now what this allows you to do is to be able to see through someone else's camera. For example, if I have Teamviewer installed on my laptop and my dad has Teamviewer Pilot installed on his phone, then that means that if he's, for example, trying to do something on his computer or trying to find something in the kitchen or whatever it might be, then I can connect to his phone remotely from my laptop and see his screen, or even from my phone or my iPad as well actually, see his screen and even put in arrows and shapes and that sort of thing on there that I can see and that he can see as well. So this sort of uses the idea of augmented reality, being able to see what's in the real world and augment it with something that's a digital layer on top of that. So it's a really great feature if you're a plumber, for example, or if you're specifically not a plumber, but in this remote time right now, maybe you need some help from a plumber. Then that plumber, if you have Teamviewer Quick Support installed on your phone and they have it on their device, then they can actually look at what you've got set up with your boiler or anything like that and actually suggest, here's where you need to turn this thing or whatever. And that's just a really useful way of being able to interact with each other from this remote distances. So that's why I made these two Teamviewer videos, because it's all about helping people be able to interact remotely and almost feel like you're in the same room, which is really cool, and it's exactly what we need right now. So we're having a look at the phone screen and we're going to open up the Teamviewer Pilot app. I'm not going to go through how to install it because there's another video for that, to install apps in general. This is on an iPhone, but it will work pretty much the same on an Android phone too. So let's open up the Pilot app over here. Okay, and we can see when we open up the app, it gives us a bit of a tutorial on how to use it. So it says share your view with an expert. So you can see that on the top is someone who's connected to the person's phone on the bottom screen from their computer. So the person on the bottom is trying to do something, and they use their phone's camera to show the person on the top who's providing them support remotely. So it says here, highlight the issue by clicking on the screen, and you can see there in the screen arrows pop up and that sort of thing. Receive guidance from someone else, so the other person can say click on the screen and also draw some arrows to help you guide you in what you need to do, and then you can, as it says, they solve the problem together. So we're going to be doing it in a slightly different way because we're doing it I'm doing it on my own phone, but it should still work okay. So click done here. So it says your ID, okay, and then you can create ID for example, and then share it in messages or WhatsApp or wherever you need to do. Let's just say to messages, for example. There you go. So you can see here it says session invite, please connect to my device by opening this address, so start.teamviewer.com. So let's just open that up on the computer here. Start.teamviewer.com, okay, / the ID number, so 182619204. Okay, and then we enter to go to that website, and here it gives us some options. It says connect to this website. Select from the options below to establish the Teamviewer connection. We recommend that you install the full Teamviewer version for best experience. So I've got Teamviewer installed, so I could click on launch install Teamviewer, but we're going to try the other one, download single use Teamviewer, because you may not have used this before. So I think it's just timed out here, so I'm going to type in the ID number again, so you know that even if you just go to start.teamviewer.com, you can still just type in the ID number manually and click on connect to partner. and then we'll click on download single use TeamViewer, and you can see it's going to open up my files and ask me whether I want to download this, and I click save. Okay, then it's going to ask me to open up this file, and I can, once it's complete, then it will open up that TeamViewer, so I can use that. It's going to get me to install Teamviewer, etc. So once I've got Teamviewer installed, then I can come back to this web page and pretty much do the same thing. Type in the ID number into here, 619204, and then connect to partner and use launch install Teamviewer. And then up the top here it says, do you want to open Teamviewer? Or start.teamviewer.com wants to open this application, so I'll click on this open Teamviewer button over here. Alright, and then on the phone, it says here that there's a phone call coming in and you need to accept that, so you click on accept. Okay, so now it says connecting partner. Okay, so we can see through the phone screen now. I'm just going to mute the microphone on there. Okay, brilliant. So now I can see on my computer, I can see the phone screen, and anything that I do on the phone screen, I can also do on on the computer, and I can see the same things through both of them. Okay, so I'm just going to pause this here for a second, and we're going to see if we can record the screen on the phone as well, which would be useful. We can put these side by side so you can see kind of what's going on. So let's go back to Teamviewer that we had going on over here. Okay, I'm going to resume that recording now, so you can see move iPhone to start, please point towards the original scene. And the reason I ask you to point towards the original scene is because we've got a drawing over here, okay? And whenever you have drawings, you can see that they tend to sort of stay in the same relative position in space. So you can move towards it, you can move away from it, almost as if it was really there. And this is called Augmented Reality. Okay, so I'm going to click on delete. We're going to delete all of these markers. Click delete there. And now, what we want to do is understand what is actually possible with this Teamviewer Pilot. So from the computer now, if we just have a look here, I can click on the screen and it will show me some markers, and you can see that these markers are also visible on the phone screen too. And then with this marker, now that I've got two highlighted, I can add a comment and say, okay, here's what you are looking for example, and click enter, and there's a comment, and you'll see on the phone screen right at the top of the screen that message will be displayed, and also on both of the screens just above the arrow that has the number 2 on it, there's that small bubble with some dots to tell you that there is a comment attached to this arrow. Now if we look at the phone screen again, just on the right hand side we've got this sort of menu with some options on there. So what we want to do is just tap on the T at the top there. You can see that shows or hides the comment on the phone. Okay. Now we can also click on the delete, which we did earlier, which will let us delete all the markers, and click undo, to undo which are sort of the actions that have been taken so far. So let's say I click on here and I add a new marker from the phone, and then I click undo. So you can see that I can't undo things that have been done from the computer when I'm on the phone. I can only undo things that have been drawn on the phone. So I've drawn these things here now, so I click undo, I can get rid of them. Then the one so that's the undo symbol. The one underneath that is the microphone, which I can use to be able to talk. So this is actually a video call, effectively, that we've got set up here, and it's just a video call with some augmented reality on top of it to help us be able to support each other and highlight issues that are going on. And the last symbol at the bottom there on the right hand side is the torch symbol. We'll tap on the torch and you can see that the area that I'm looking at is highlighted with a light. You can see that if I put my finger in front, it's very bright because the torch is there. if I turn that torch off, then it's not there anymore. So the point is to be able to communicate with other people through this kind of video call. So let's say if I'm working with some clients and they're trying to figure out, let's say for example they've got some stuff that they want to plug into their computer, and say, okay, where does my mouse plug in? I say, okay, it needs to go into a USB slot. Where does the headphones plug in? It needs to go into this small headphone jack over here. How can I do this, that, or the other? And you're able to, so for example, if I was doing that, then from the computer screen I can see the sort of dongle over there, and I can click on there, and you can see that there's an arrow, and I say, plug in here, for example, and then you can see on the phone it's come up with that message just at the top, plug in here. Now if we have a look at the computer side again for a second, we'll click on those arrows in the top right of the little section, and it says here delete last marker. Okay, so you can delete the last marker that was there, so that arrow is no longer there. You can see we've got here also comments, so you can leave a comment, send a file, take a screenshot. So I'm taking a screenshot now. I'm going to save that into my documents. We can have a look at that afterwards. We've also got start recording, which will allow me to record the phone screen from this side. And let's say send a file, then I can then choose to send a file from my computer to the phone, which might help with whatever we're trying to sort out on the phone. So you can see here, now on the computer it kind of brings up all of my files and folders, and then I can say, okay, let's just go to my documents, and I want to send this picture, whatever it is, to the phone. Click on send. Okay, now it's just sending that file over. You can see it's come up there in the job queue at the bottom, figuring out how long it's going to take to send that and that sort of thing, how big it is, and once this is completed it will appear right on the phone. Let's just wait for that there. Transferring now. Okay, so this was just a quick preview of what you can do with Teamviewer Pilot. There we go, we can see on the phone now that on the bottom left hand side there's that file symbol. When I click on the file symbol, it opens up the image that I sent from the computer here, and now the only other thing that I haven't spoken about yet is the pause button in the middle. I can use that to pause the screen, so on the computer I can no longer see what's going on with the phone camera, and I click play and I'll be able to see what's happening on the phone camera. So as I mentioned, this is just a quick tutorial on how to use Teamviewer Pilot. Like I said, it could be useful especially if you're working remotely, so right now it could be very useful for you and your clients, or for you and your family even as well. So to close this, then we can now click on the red phone symbol at the top of the list and click on close connection, and now that closes the phone call. You can obviously also close it from the computer side, and here it says, thank you very much for using it. So that's pretty much it. I hope that was useful. So go and play around with it. It's called Teamviewer Pilot, and as I mentioned, it's also in the Apple Store for the iPad and the iPhone, and it's also in the Google Play Store for Android phones, for example Samsung, Huawei, all of those. So go and install it, go and play with it, have some fun drawing stuff on the screen, even if you're not using it for anything incredibly important or useful. It's still something cool to play around with. So hope that helps. See you in the next one.